What's going on, everyone? Talon back here, and today, well, a ton of new information in Dokkan opened up today, right at midnight, actually. Right as I was going to bed, I was just like, oh, I can't do any of it until I get home from work and everything. I'm like, all right, but hey, you know what? Some stuff was actually released at around 4 p.m. Japan time when I was leaving work, so I was like, oh, okay, well, I got some new information I can throw in there on top of also everything else. So let's get straight into it because there is some stuff that I've been seeing a lot of people asking about and stuff, and I was just like, okay, let's break it all down and let's just see where we're going to go from there, okay? So first off, by the way, if I'm looking to the left or to the right side or the left side, I'm trying to figure out that still. I'm looking at my second monitor, but my camera's on usually my front monitor. My phone's updating right now, so I had to use the browser and everything like that. So I guess I'm taking a page out of, you know, like D-Free's book and everything like that, and Alex's and everything. So anyway, let's go ahead and take a look at this real quick. So first off, if we scroll down here, by the way, you know that the World Tournament has been going on for today and the day before, and it ends tomorrow Japan time. Kind of a weird one. Haven't had much time to play it myself. I got like most of the point prizes, but other than that, I'm mostly just focusing on my local rank, not so much the global rank, because, you know, I want the LRTN to get dupes and everything like that. But other than that, and plus I need the medals. But anyway, other than that, it's basically just going on. We'll get our prizes probably, I would say, either Saturday or Monday would be my guess, if you have participated in it. Other than that, though, it's just a basic World Tournament going on. A lot of people have been trying Raditz out and everything. From the looks of it, if you have him rainbowed with Kid Buu, you can take on about 25 times difficulty. It looks like I can't really say that. I know for a fact because I actually posted this little video to my Twitter page if you saw it, where I took him under a Frieza lead, which would only give him 50% because that's what he is. And I was against I was on 30 times difficulty, and he cannot take that down at all. He has SA10. And so just keep that in mind that if you are relying on him, then you're going to definitely need a Kid Buu lead, because bringing a friend Kid Buu obviously doesn't do anything for you because you don't get the friends leader scale and buffs and all that kind of stuff. So Raditz is a good option if you don't mind staying down at the much lower difficulties, using him as a leader, or maybe using him as under a Rose lead or something like that. But I would not be going into those much higher difficulties. But if you're okay with that, then by all means go ahead. But he's kind of where we expected him to be, because I know a lot of people did not rainbow him because you're going to save your Intor for other people and everything like that. So yeah. But anyway, so that's been going on. And then at midnight today, we actually got a little like Christmas campaign for the JP version of the game. No news on Vegito Blue. Again, we're all just speculating that should be coming. Vegito is one of the most popular characters, so Global will have it for whatever exclusive amount of time, and then I'm assuming we'll probably get it later. If not, well then okay, I guess we're not gonna get them. So anyway, if you take a look at this though, there is a campaign going on starting today at 4 p.m. We started off with the Christmas login bonuses and everything like that, and you should have seen a red Dragonstone. Now, I did make a mistake when I was posting on Twitter, like all excited and everything like that, saying like they were going to give us 3 of these Dragonstones. That's not the case. At least, they could give us more maybe like on Christmas Day as a surprise or something like that. But as of right now, we're only getting 1. The 3 represents simply that this is the 3rd time that they have done this. First time being with the year 2, campaign and everything. The second time being during Golden Week when we had the Int Gogeta and the Strength Janemba. And then now it's the 3rd time at Christmas, which kind of makes sense. So if you get your 1 stone, then you can go ahead and pick one of the original 5 leads, Goku, Brawly, and all that stuff. And we're going to get to that in just a little bit here because there is some interesting information on there and kind of just what the next one could bring to us in terms of the Extreme Z Awakening in that regard. So yeah. Anyway, and then something that a lot of people are actually really happy about is the fact that we're getting Tapion finally. I'll admit, he's kind of cool. A lot of people are saying that maybe he's going to be either a movie type leader, or he's going to be something like, a leader for everyone that can go giant, so great apes and things like that. Hard to say on that one. I'm going to assume movie, but again, we're not really sure. That comes out on Tuesday the 19th, which is next week, so actually 2 days right before I leave back for the States. So I'll update you guys on that right before I leave and everything. Also, we are getting the Blue Dragonstone. There's supposed to be a sale starting on the 19th for Dragonstones as well. So I'm assuming it's just simply going to be the usual 90 stone pack, or wherever it says, it will say, stones, and it's going to say present next to it. And then basically if you buy that once, you're going to get the blue stone in your mailbox, and then go ahead and get it, and boom, you're good to go. Pick the usual Vegito, Gotenks, and all that stuff. Honestly, the Redstone at this moment in the game's life is actually better. Unless you don't have Super Vegito, which I think a lot of people do, but hey, if you don't, then by all means, and you decide to buy it, go ahead. But everyone else is actually kind of fallen off. I'm not trying to say they're bad, but they simply have, like, the power gap in this game has, aside from like Super Vegito and I know like Tech Gotenks is obviously optimal still on his tech team and everything, But other than that, a lot of these other cards you don't really see used anymore. So, again, not saying they're bad. It's just, you know, the Red Dragon Stone is giving you something because you know that Extreme Z Awakening is coming, and it pushes them further. So it's just like, we also what happened with Agility Goku. So I've always I find that definitely pretty interesting. So yeah, one thing that also, Nate, on the Tapion is that it looks like it's not a Dokkan Fest. It's going to be like kind of like the Kefla, where, you know, she was just simply part of a banner. This one, you're going to be getting 2 Kais when you summon on it, doing a multi-summon. You'll get the, you know, Santa Claus, Old Master Roshi. So, yeah, you'll definitely have to take advantage of that if you have the stones for it. Of course, there is going to be a sale, but do keep in mind that we're probably going to get a real Dokkan Fest at the end of the year. No, there's no confirmation on that, but based on what they did last year, they did this exact same thing. We had a little Christmas celebration, and then we had a big sale with a Dokkan Fest and everything near the end of December, which was like December 28th or 29th or something like that, or it might have even been the 30th or 31st. I don't remember the exact day, but then New Year's came along, and that's when we got Trunks and Merge Zombies and everything. So that was pretty cool. So expect something like that as well. If you want to spend the stones from the sales, go ahead. But if you didn't want to save for the rest, by all means, go ahead. It's hard to say what we'll get after that. This is just simply the Red Dragon Stone. Next, we are getting 2 story events from what looks like, or one of them is an event, essentially, where we're going to be fighting Tapion when he goes, you know, I don't even remember what it's called. I want to say Hydra for some reason, but I've been watching too many Marvel trailers and everything like that. But anyway, so basically when he goes giant, essentially, right, the monster that comes out of him and everything, there's going to be an event for that, and then there's also an event where you're going to be able to farm a Tapion, so I'm assuming that means the one from the banner will have a farmable SSR, so that would be pretty cool to check out. And then we've got your usual story events that come back, and then here's the stone sale. And other than that, you know, that's basically it that will be coming for Christmas and everything. But of course, you know they're going to sneak some extra stuff in there, so yeah. Anyway, so when we move past that, though, we've got the login bonuses for the pan and everything. Basically, every single day, you're getting your daily Dragon Stone, along with a bunch of random items and medals and everything. When it gets towards Christmas, though, there'll be a couple days before Christmas where you get 2 stones, then 3, then 4, and then on Christmas Day, you get 5 stones, along with a free Santa Master Roshi and everything. And then some people are speculating that there might be a red Dragon Stone in there as well. There potentially could be. I am not confirming that, though. I am not confirming that. I'm just simply saying, you never know. They could sneak one in there. You know, they did it with the World Tournament and everything when we had year 2, and they stuck in an extra red Dragon Stone there. Hard to say what's going to happen, but, you know, it's just things are going to happen and everything like that. So, I'm not really sure. Oh, yeah, this is the big one. So, I'll get back to that in just a second. Again, this is just simply picking your favorite, whatever, you know, original model leader that you want to pick. And then these are just the simple events here that I just mentioned before. Now, the big news is the next Z Awakening, Extreme Z Awakening. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of thrown through this one. I want to open him up in his own page, because just looking at this, I'm like, why? Brawly's in an interesting position, because if you have the LR Brawly, in all good consciousness, I cannot say to use your red Dragon Stone on this Brawly. Just don't do it. Like, this could, okay. Let me go through the Japanese first real quick, and then I'm going to get my thoughts out there, because there's mixed feelings everywhere, essentially. So, let's calm down for a second, or at least I'm going to calm down, and we're going to take a look at the quick kanji. There's not much really to it. It just simply says that, you know, Sugi no, and then the next guy's going to be Brawly. The real thing that you need to look at right here is when he comes out. This says Junigatsu Matsu. Matsu at the end of there means that it literally translates to the end of December, which makes sense. So I'm going to assume somewhere around Christmas time would be my guess, because you have to remember Christmas is not a big holiday here in Japan. So it could release on Christmas, it could release the day after Christmas, it's hard to say. But end of December, that, you know, I'm gonna guess probably close to around the time that we get the true New Year's Dokkan Fest and everything like that. If you guys missed my video on what we are getting, at least for login bonuses, when it comes to the Android 18 and the kimono and everything, I did a video on that. Check at the end of the video. You'll see it, no problem. But anyway, back to this stuff, though. So, Brawly's coming. Okay, so obviously when we got Goku's Extreme Z Awakening, the dude got buffed like no tomorrow. The dude can get put on 2 of the best teams in the game now, Super Vegito and the SSJ 3 teams. He's optimal on those teams, the whole 9 yards. He's a beast when he's rainbowed. They give you the orbs, they give you the Kais to rainbow the guy, as long as you have the dupes, of course. And then obviously they threw the banner out there with, you know, it had Tech Brawly, Tech Cell, and then it had the SSJ Goku. Obviously, a lot of people were thinking, oh, well, Cell's gonna be it. No, apparently not. Apparently Brawly for some reason. So it will be interesting to see what happens, because right now this guy only does extreme damage, and you know, obviously he attacks all units, but his defense goes to 0, and then his attack goes up by 7,000. His links are terrible. You cannot deny that. These links are terrible. Doesn't even have prepare for battle because it wasn't around at the time when this guy came out originally. So there is a spot for them to add a link, so they could add prepare for battle, but if they don't, it's going to make this guy a little hard to use in the World Tournament unless you are using items. Now, currently right now, personally for me, I do use items with some of my guys because, you know, I have Majin Vegeta, the LR Majin Vegeta, but that guy requires an 18 key in order to get his area of effect off attacks. So I don't know what they're really going to do to Brawly because they're not going to increase his attack everyone to immense. That's not going to happen. They'll probably put it up to Supreme would be my guess at least. And then in terms of the passive, I don't know if they're going to keep it as a flat passive or change it to percentage because they've shown they usually don't change from flat passive to flat passive unless you're talking about someone like the physical SSJ2 Gohan, where he went from a 2,000 attack boost up to arguably one of the best rainbow support guys in the entire game. 35% attack and defense, which is crazy good. So I don't know what they're really going to do here. We can say that he's probably going to go to percent, but they're not. They are not going to make this guy better than LR. Anyone thinking that they are, you're living in a fantasy world. This is Bandai we're talking about here, okay? He will be good. I'm not denying that he will not be good. Or let me reword that. He will be good. I'm not denying that, you know, he's going to be still terrible or anything like that. But let's face it, Brawly's really only used for the tournament, right? Anytime you see someone using a Brawly in their team, it's either because that's what they're limited to, which is fine. I totally understand that. Or they're using LR Brawly because you can just get the 18 key and then the dude just decimates because he does mega colossal damage. He's an LR, right? But this guy, if he's doing supreme damage, there are better in-game cards that you could bring. I mean, LR Frieza is one to come to mind. He's totally in-game and everything like that. So, again, if you want to get this guy, if you don't have LR Brawly like me personally, I guess go for him if you are lacking in any type of AoE units. But you have to keep one thing in mind before you go and get this guy is that, okay, let's say, for example, even if you get Brawly, we know his leader skill is going to go up to 7%, and, you know, he's going to get some crazy passive addition, which would be my guess at least. But after that, you have to keep in mind that if you're thinking that, oh, this guy gets a huge boost, I'm going to be able to 30 times difficulty and everything like that, and just decimates, that's not necessarily the case anymore, or it's not going to be the case, especially if you don't have somebody who can give him that extra boost. If you have, say, Angel Golden Frieza, and I believe this probably is in there, correct me if I'm wrong on that one, it's going to be a little hard for you to go up to those higher difficulties because you're going to get decimated just by the amount of attack with the less amount of health that you have. So do keep that in mind that if you're planning on getting this Brawly just simply because you think you can take on the 30 times difficulty, that's not going to be the case, especially because we don't know what his attack stat will increase to, what his passive will increase to, his damage multiplier, all that kind of stuff. Even at SA15, we don't know exactly what's going to go to be. So if you want to hold on to your Red Dragon Stone, that's actually totally fine. I'd actually highly recommend it because it hangs around until like the 28th or something like that for getting the Dragonstone from your box, and then picking the one of those free units actually goes away on like in January. So you've got plenty of time to wait and see when this guy comes out, because all of us are going to be doing videos on the guy when we finally find out what his passive and everything is. And then if you say, okay, yes, I actually do want him, I'm going to go for him, and then or maybe you're just going to be like, oh well, it's not really the greatest. Maybe I'm better off just bringing a Brawly friend, which I will admit it probably is going to be better. But I don't know. It's just too hard to say, right? We don't know enough information about this, so we'll have to see exactly what happens. Hopefully in the end he does get that boost that he truly needs. But his links currently right now in his state, his links are abysmal. His passive is abysmal. I mean, he's definitely on the lower end of how much damage AoE units do in the World Tournament. So I don't know. Hopefully again he'll start to climb back up. He's not going over LRs though. We'll have to see exactly what's going to happen. I definitely think he could be good, but again, he's only going to be usually used for the World Tournament. So I wish he could potentially be used in more situations than just the World Tournament. We'll have to see though. But yeah, so anyway, guys, that's going to be it on just my personal thoughts on the Brawly. As of right now, we don't know any information or anything like that. I used my Red Dragonstone to get a full power Frieza dupe because I already had 2 paths open on Brawly. I didn't find the need to go with the top right and the bottom left. So, because I'm probably not going to rainbow the guy by any means, but, I'll have to see him out. I'm a content creator, so I have to see what he can do. I'll have to show you guys. Unfortunately, the World Tournament's going to be gone. It would have been nice to have gotten this guy and then gotten a World Tournament. That would have been my preference. So, hopefully we get one in January. That's my hope. And then you can really test him out and see how he works. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it for the video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below about the Brawly, about the celebration, the whole 9 yards. Global, you should be getting Vegito Blue here, I think in less than 12 hours or something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but congrats. Go wild. Go crazy. Send pics, videos, the whole 9 yards. At me on Twitter, the whole everything. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. Leave your likes down and your comments down as well. Subscribe if you happen to be new. Until next time, everyone, I will see you in the next one.